Alright, another round of 64 match here in the CiC Qualifiers, and we're just busting through this picking phase. I guess they may have remade this. As Sjol versus Burrito Gaming is going on. I believe Sjol has been covered before. I don't think this is their first time, but I'm not particularly familiar with any of them. I'm not going to ignore or pay attention to any of these things because I'm pretty sure that this is a remake, and that's why we're busting through everything so quickly. So let's just talk about the lineups that teams actually have, and not the bands that probably don't even make any difference. Rally, Corporate Disciple, Glacius, Gauntlet, and Solstice. So I'm liking this Legion lineup so far, except for the Rally, that I don't like that hero. But Solstice, presumably to be in the jungle, Corporate Disciple hopefully in the solo bot lane, Glacius and Gauntlet, I'm thinking they're going to be mid, and Rally in that suicide role. Strong lineup here, lots of gank potential, lots of burst potential, pretty good mid-game team. Has the ability to go late game if they get a decent enough start. Solstice and Corrupted Disciple are both heroes that don't carry particularly hard, but they will do their fair share in the late game. So I'm liking this team so far. Perhaps one thing they're lacking is some team fights. Solstice Ultimate, Glacius Ultimate, even the Rally Ultimate might have some ability to deal with that, but Solstice Ultimate is always something that you can think, oh, I'm going to charge this for 5 seconds and hit 4 people with it. That almost never actually happens. And if you spend 5 seconds of a team fight charging an ultimate, then your team is probably going to be dying quickly. So usually, as an initiation tool, if you can get it off, great, but that's not typical. Hellborn team, meanwhile, Pestilence, Ophelia, Wretched Hag, Bubbles, and Empath, so running their own jungler against the Legion jungle, and I do like that as well. Obviously, if the opponent's going to run a jungler, you probably should too. But we're probably looking at a suicide Bubbles here based on what the lanes are so far. Bubbles, actually no, he's barely got any regen. He has 6 tango, so yeah, maybe it is a suicide. Hag probably not going to be suiciding. Empath and Pestilence likely to be laning together in the middle, and Hag in the solo top with Bubbles in the suicide lane, Ophelia in the woods. So also a strong lineup here on Hellborn, a little bit less late game than the Legion side have perhaps, and yeah, probably a little more team fight as well, considering Empath can jump inside of somebody. You've got the Black Bass, you've got the Kelpfield, you have the Ophelia's North's Blessing, the Ophelia's Touch, I think it's called actually. Yep. She just says North's Blessing, so it's hard to think of that. And I like this. I really, really like this. Aggressively warding camps here. This is fantastic because Solstice suffers massively if you ward the crap out of his jungle, as he just is not one of the heroes that has the ability to recover from that. So he's going to have to use some counter wards here to take out both of these wards of sight, or this ward of red, as he obviously can't get all 3. And that's going to be a bit of an issue for him. So middle lane it will be the Glacius Gauntlet going up against Pesty Empath, and I'm favoring the Legion side's lineup here as they've really got the burst. They've got the ability to kill one of these heroes, particularly Empath if they can catch her, and possibly Pestilence if they can whittle him down a little bit before they go in. But Hellborn's lineup is solid. They could turn this into a kill if they get a little lucky. It's going to require, I think, some misplays from the Legion side, though. Somebody's going to have to get caught out just because Pestilence's stun is short range. Empath's wall can help out with that. But again, that's going to require somebody being in a bad position, and Empath has to get off a strong wall then. So we'll see what happens, but I'm thinking it's going to go in favor of the Legion side in this situation, as they also get the lane under their tower. Hopefully Gauntlet going to be able to pick up some CS here. And he gets most of those, so well done. Top lane is going to be Rally versus Wretched Hag, and Hag should no doubt win this. Just the haunt spam alone should be able to consistently destroy this Rally and force him out of lane. Haha, I'll just get paused. Rally here sitting on just 2 more tangos, so he's going to have some issues staying in lane as long as Hag repeatedly applies that haunt. And so he's not as tanking as a lot of melee suicides are, and the haunt is going to be able to consistently do damage to him. So there it goes, a couple of auto attacks, and all of a sudden he's taking a bunch of damage. He'll be forced to eat a tree there, and he's now down to only 1 tango. Bottom lane, CD going up against Bubbles, as both of them have taken some damage. Bubbles still sitting on 4 trees, though, and Corrupted Disciple has 2 of his own, so that's not a huge deal for him. Bubbles perhaps getting forced out a little bit, but he now has lane control, as Rally does in his own suicide lane. And Bubbles should be able to get some CS here. Bubbles probably a lot better candidate to have a strong lane against Corrupted Disciple than Rally is against Wretched Hag, and really Bubbles could get a kill here. If he is able to whittle down that CD a little bit, drop a Shell Surf and a Song of the Sea on his face, he can have the burst damage to kill a CD early on. Especially if he gets any sort of help from the middle lane. Empath or Pestilence perhaps coming for a rune, and they're like, hey, while I'm down here, let's try to kill that Corrupted Disciple. Obviously with no escape mechanism, no stun, no slow, it's very difficult for him to resist an oncoming gank without any help, and he won't have any help. Meanwhile, Solstice actually is in the middle lane, and I'm missing stuff because there's the jump onto Pestilence, and the wall going down not going to make a huge difference as the Isoprism is there. So Dark Sparta on the Glacius gets the kill, and no huge surprise there. The Legion picks up the first blood in the middle lane, and as I said earlier, they just have the damage, and the Hellborn really don't so much. Solstice obviously coming in there really just solidified the kill more than anything else. And he's doing surprisingly well considering how many of his camps are blocked. He actually unblocked this small camp, so that's probably a pretty significant reason why he's doing sort of well. And currently sitting at 156 gold per minute. Not great, but not the worst either. His opponent in Ophelia is at 212 gold per minute, which is honestly about where we've seen Ophelia's recently in terms of their jungle farm. It just hasn't seemed particularly impressive, their ability to consistently farm the jungle well, so Ophelia perhaps less dangerous than she might have been earlier, and obviously decreasing her value. Will contest this top rune with Gauntlet, and it's going to get picked up by Ophelia with a double damage. She's actually going to do some damage here as the Catman has slowed him down a little bit, but not enough to actually get a kill, not even close, and he'll just run away. Bit unfortunate there that he's managed to waste his time and lose a whole bunch of health, but happens sometimes. The lane Gauntlet is porting back in, so it's adjusting something. And as a result, wasn't saying anything. Bubbles in bottom lane, perhaps looking to get set up on by Solstice. Alright, it's going to be hard to kill him. There goes the Corrupted Conduit, plus the stun, and that's going to be a lot of damage here. Bubbles going to try to Soul Surf, but not going to get anything. I don't know if he just doubled that Shell Surf, or if he was going to go for the counter kill, figuring, oh, I'm dead, whatever, I might as well try to get the CD. But didn't work out very well. There's Ploopy8. Two good names here in the Hellborn Titan, in Smacktrix and Ploopy8, but Empath, one more auto attack, gotta be the kill there, so well done by Glacius. Walnut helping too much. And no huge surprise, the Legion remain this middle lane, and as a result, have taken a pretty substantial resource advantage early on. Actually, Rally up top getting a kill under Wretched Hag with the compelling size of Sand. One auto attack, and that's just... that's not something that should happen. I don't know, man. I guess he ferried himself some regen or something, but really, that's not something that should happen. You know, Rally did not go to lane with a whole bunch of health regen. He was going up against a hero that loves to apply that low mana cost taunt for a bunch of damage. Should have been able to put the harass down and force Rally out of lane. Could not do so, and eventually paid for it. So, Legion side actually having a real strong start to this game. And 6-minute rune will be taken by Gauntlet. Gets the refreshment. Top lane was already picked up by somebody. Maybe it was a regen or something. Oh, yeah, Pestilence in fact bottled it. So, things looking pretty good for the Legion side so far. As they ward up there, but that might have been seen. Hook there on a Gauntlet. They got so much backup here with Rally coming in as well. Double stun. They might go for a 2-man kill. Compel there will hit Pestilence. He's dead, and Empath going to get away, but it's obviously the more valuable target that gets taken down. That's a 5-0 hero kill lead for the Legion team. And Smacktrix here on this Pestilence, just not having a great time off to the side. Bubbles is perhaps looking for a counter initiation. As Rally's hanging out, has the Seismic Slam available, but probably not enough mana to do both it and the Compel. And they're going to try to get a jump here on this Gauntlet, I think. Bubbles is level 6, has the Kelp Field, so I think their plan is currently to try to kill this Gauntlet, and that's sort of what they need to do. They need a rotation from Bubbles. They need to start addressing this Gauntlet before he snowballs. He's only at 260 gold per minute, so it's not like the biggest deal, but they don't know that. Hook in there, not going to hit, so. Now looking for the opening. 8-minute room will be spotted by Empath. Solstice here as well. Will not initiate, although they might get something onto him as they're going to put the stones, and that's going to be an easy kill. Meanwhile, over here, Smacktrix also going to fall, actually, the Gauntlet Blast there, and the Compel plus the Seismic Slam, despite the Ophelia ultimate. Gauntlet now going to run off to the side. No Kelp Field available, but Rally will get locked down a little bit. Both Minotaur stuns going off. Too tanky, though, to kill. And over here, nice wall down will prevent Gauntlet from going up the hill. He's going to have to do something to keep himself alive. It's not going to happen. Ice Imprisonment goes down there onto Hag, but that's not going to save anybody. And now Glacius will get chased down, but he should be fine, especially with Corrupted Disciple coming in from the side. And that looks like it'll be the end of that engagement. So a couple of kills getting picked up here for the Hellborn side, and they desperately needed that. They do still lose Pestilence, but they do take out both Gauntlet and Solstice. Yeah. Middle lane now going to be pushed in with Ophelia and her 2 Minotaurs. Not going to continue though, as they will back up, and Ophelia will head back into the woods. Top lane, Pestilence going to get some farm here, as he's just been crapped on 180 GPM, not having a great game. And they're going to give him the top lane to try to get him some money, get that portal key up as soon as possible. Definitely a good decision, because he needs to start having an impact. Otherwise, this game could go real bad real fast. Bottom lane, meanwhile, Corrupted Disciple getting a jump on here with Bat Blast, and that's a death. So, a strong gank there as Hag joins Bubbles to do a whole bunch of magic damage and kill that CD, who's probably looking for a shortcut head as soon as possible. I would not be surprised at all to see that as his first item. Obviously, the physical damage from Pestilence not going to help. Perhaps Skeleton King Nets from Ophelia not going to help, but so much damage from this Hellborn team is magical, particularly from that Hag and Bubbles. And that's going to basically allow him to do a lot of stuff that he normally couldn't. Oaf with the double Minotaur Skeleton King combo, obviously the preferred creep combination, with the technically 3 stuns it offers. Considerable lockdown, both in terms of duration and range. Ball is going out, but we don't care. I'll just get pauses, but Gauntlet out there onto Pestilence, but they have 2 backed up. This is definitely a bait. Pestilence might still fall here, but immediately gets cancelled, actually. Nicely done there as Nourish Blessing comes out. They're still going to try to get the kill here. It's not going to happen. Basically, Gauntlet will not be able to get away, and now Rally in a lot of trouble. Corrupted Conduit goes down, but Rally's still going to follow the auto attack from Hag. Glacius comes in here, Skeleton King Net plus the Minotaur Stomp, and now despite the Energizer, Corrupted Disciple is in a lot of trouble. Empath going to jump inside, and that's going to be in for a kill onto Corrupted Disciple. So ends up being a 3-for-0. Excellent bait there on Pestilence, and all of a sudden the Hellborn have evened up the gold lead. They've taken a slight experience lead. They're tied 6-6 in hero kills, and we got a game. So, top tower here being heavily pressured as only 2 heroes are up to the Legion side. And this is going to be an easy tower kill. In the meantime, Solstice is pushing middle, but that's not going to be a tower kill.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
As this tower is way too healthy. Bottom lane wave here. Bot lane tower hasn't been touched really by either team. And we'll see if Ophelia starts to push. And so obviously this is the time of the game where Ophelia's like, yep, all of these towers is mine, bitch. Once again, getting a Minotaur, so that's some pretty lucky stuff. And we'll see if she takes the Vagabond. She does, so she should be able to push effectively with these creeps if she wants to, and I'd like to see that happen. Mid tower should be the next target. Gauntlet gonna bottle a double name Rune up top. And I'm liking this. We've got two teams with solid drafts and solid play coming out so far. No considerable mistakes, really. Shell Surf in will hit Corrupted, but Bubbles will not follow it up. Finally gonna get some damage into this bottom tower. Middle lane, meanwhile, it looks like they're gonna try to set up something here onto Pestilence, or possibly the Wretched Hag, as both Glacius and Solstice are hanging out. Hook there will not hit Pesty. Very close, not quite in range. Notable that CD has picked up the Energizer, so going to be looking to go aggressive and or get himself out of some sticky situations early on. Not a bad idea at all. And like I said, I think the Shrunken Head should be his first item, considering, you know, the amount of magic damage it is on this Hellbourne team. Once that happens, it's going to be much more difficult to deal with him. Meanwhile, off to the side, Empath Wall going down, but she's still in a lot of trouble. Essence Link is not going to be able to save her as the last auto attack from Gauntlet finishes her off. I'm not really sure what she was doing there. Got the ward here, but sort of running into the enemy woods without any vision of who's in there. Everybody's missing on the map. Not a great idea. Not a great plan. Pays for it. But Ophelia will come here in the middle lane and look to start pushing this tower in. Off to the side is Rally, and Gauntlet's right here in the middle of everything. So it looks like the Legion side's not content to just let this one fall, as they absolutely should be mounting a defense. And Hellbourne's going to back up in response. GPM charts, Hag leading the way at 330 gold per minute, but a lot of heroes around about the same GPMs, about 100 GPM, separating the highest farmer from the lowest farmer on either team. Empath gonna sort of run into Rally, but neither side choosing to engage. Hag obviously going for the light brand, looking into the Grimoire. Ophelia has picked the Astrolabe on top of the Ring of the Teacher and Ring of Sorcery, so going heavy supportive in that manner. Pesty presumably looking for his portal key and is about 1,000 gold away from it. Bubbles, similar situation, pretty much to a T, and probably the same for Gauntlet. Perhaps even for Rally, so we could be looking at 4 portal keys getting picked up in about 1,000 gold, maybe a few minutes here. And that's going to provide a lot of really strong initiation for both teams. Curious to see what Solstice chooses to go for. Only 230 gold per minute, so not exactly the greatest farm in the world, but he's got some cash. 900 gold saved up. Gauntlet, I believe, looking for a hook here, but obviously the ward's spotting him out. And we've got 5 heroes here from the Hellbourne side. They're going to group up in here and take this mid tower, so Legion have to decide whether they want to mount a defense here or if they're going to let this thing fall, and it's probably going to die. They've got 4 heroes here. Corrupted is coming in, so they're definitely going to try to defend this. The question is, can they? Up there onto Bubbles, and he's just dead. Door's Blessing, not really doing too much. Ultimate from Solstice will catch Pestilence, and he's in a lot of trouble despite the flight. That's going to be another kill, and that's 2 for nothing in favor of the Legion side. Their push will be immediately stopped. Corrupted Disciple continuing to chase up, but that's not going to be doing too much. And they might try to kill this Minotaur. They're really focused on it. Get it, Glacius. Ace Imprisonment. There you go. be careful here. Haunt, Sonar is there. Hook back. Bat Blast will finish off Glacius. The reinitiation is there, but Seismic Slam kills Reshadag. Empath trying to run away. Nice wall there. Will cut off everybody except for Gauntlet, and he's like, yeah, I don't want this anymore. Team can't help me out. I'm gone. So another good trade here for the Legion side as they lose their support for the opposing team's top farmer. And they're looking to take down the middle tower of their own as the Hellborn's push is backfiring. Glitch goes off and that'll prevent that from happening, but their own tower is not in die range. It is relatively low. We'll see if Hellborn try to finish it off. I would assume they will. Wow, nice take cover. I knew Gauntlet was just waiting for that. He was waiting for that illusion to die so he could try to hook in Bubbles, but I think Bubbles probably saw that coming, and of course the ward up here not hurting at all. Bottom lane tower going to push once again. This is where CD and Solstice were earlier before the Hellborn got aggressive on their mid tower. And they should actually get this. It is below deny range, so it's definitely going to die. The question is who's going to kill it. Nice deny there. Ultimate from Solstice doesn't actually hit anything, I don't think, and he will in fact back off. So the DD rune for Bubbles, a little bit unexpected, and helps him grab the deny on that bottom tower. That is the first tower to go down to the Hellborn. And Gauntlet has picked up his portal key. We're probably looking at a PK for a rally in about 200 gold. Pestilence has his as well, and Bubbles looking at one in 300 gold, so one PK on each side. We're probably going to end up with two PKs on each side within the next couple of minutes. As Ploopy wants his portal key. Off to the side here, Pestilence will jump onto Gauntlet before anybody else can get him. He tries to hook up, actually does hit Rally, so he should be okay. Essence Link onto Glacius here, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, gets compelled away, and will be fine. Reshadag going to run in here once again. He's going to get the jump on from Solstice, though, who will in fact cancel it, and Dark Sparta actually got denied there. Had the Haunt debuff on him thanks to the Bat Blast, and is dead, but not killed. Portal key picked up there by Bubbles. CD picks up that Firebrand. I fundamentally disagree with that decision. You need the Shrunken here, buddy. You need it so badly if you want to have any sort of impact in these team fights. And it's not like the team fights are theoretical here. They keep happening. You know, that initiation keeps happening. The Hellborn is clearly willing to be aggressive, trying to take towers. They're trying to get picks, and you're going to get locked down by slows, you're going to get hit by all sorts of magic damage because you don't have a Shrunken head. And really, you don't really need a source of damage, that's what the conduit's for. You're not supposed to try to stack damage on CD, you're supposed to use the conduit for that. Solstice picking up the Abyssal Skull. Good decision there. Going to help him farm. Will help his teammates out in the middle of fights with all sorts of auras. Particularly rallying Gauntlet, of course, with a lifesteal. CD returning bottom to farm. As 4 heroes for the Hellborn side are grouped up in middle lane. I think they're probably baiting this Bubbles. They're trying to get Gauntlet to go in on him. Shell Surf gets used there aggressively, and we'll see if that matters. Pestilence looking for an opening here, but obviously shows himself as the creep wave did spot him, and the rest of the Legion team will back off. I see running bottom instead, but right by a ward of sight. and CD knows exactly what's happening. Rally continuing to farm top. Look at the GPM charts here. Both CD and Hag right neck and neck. Ophelia, though, doing a little better than Solstice, while Bubbles is doing a little better than Rally. And Gauntlet slightly better than Pestilence. So the farm here is relatively even. Perhaps the biggest difference is the supports, where Glacius is out-farming Empath quite a bit, and the junglers, where Ophelia is out-farming Solstice quite a bit, obviously. Probably going to favor the Hellborn in terms of gold distribution, and this Ancient stat kill will also help them out. And these 4 heroes are here to finish them off. Solstice Illuminate does spot them, but not going to do anything about it. Meanwhile, Gauntlet Illusion will be spotted by Empath and Bubbles, just checking Caldavar, making sure nothing fishy's going down. I'm going to try to block the Ancient spawn here. We'll do so. Off to the side, Solstice, they're looking like they're baiting Let's Corrupt the Disciple, as Glacius is off to the side. Over here, Solstice will get jumped by Bubbles, and he will get spotted here. Kelfield's going to go down on top of him. There's a silence as well, but the rest of the Legion side is here. Solstice is going to drop, but are they going to get any counter kills? No. So, they were sort of baiting him. They had the entire team here, but they weren't really able to save him. So, as far as bait goes, that's probably not how it's supposed to work. Meanwhile, bottom tower will be heavily pushed, and it looks like Legion is not willing to defend this. So, Hellborn going to get a pick and a tower kill. Not a huge surprise that they don't want to fight right now.
The Legion had to send Hellborn and destroy the Legion
Instead, in fact, taking down the middle tower. So that's actually probably a pretty solid trade for them, especially considering they don't want to take the 4v5 team fight. Trading mid tower for bottom tower is certainly not bad at all. But Hellborn are going to continue pushing here, and Legion do need to address this at some point. Ophelia with the triple Skeleton King. Skeleton army. So it looks like the Legion side is making their way over here, and Hellborn will in turn run the hell away. As they picked off the tower, they got the kill, and they felt like that's enough. We need to press our luck. We've got this bot tower to half health. We can finish off later. Instead, just cleaning up the Legion Woods. And may look for initiation here. I think it's mostly if the Legion heroes decided to push that, they probably would have gone after him and tried to gank one, but Legion staying pretty well grouped here as 4 heroes are right next to each other up top. It is CD all by himself as he continues to try to pick up his farm. Looks like Legion side are in fact going to try to push this tower down, and they do sort of need to do this. But the Hellborn are going to have a response. Hag's jumping in, and she'll be defending this tower. 25 minutes in, they only have 2 towers down. Not the greatest performance. Jumping here with Gauntlet Blast there onto Hag. She's going to be in a lot of trouble. Capel goes down and Seismic Slam there. Not probably necessary, but certainly nice to be able to finish the kill off. Obviously the portal key coming in from Rally. As he has added that, top tower will fall. Meanwhile, off to the side here, Kelfield's going to go into Glacius, and she's going to die. He's going to die. And they're going to look for a reinitiation here. Not going to happen. Gauntlet Hook doesn't actually hit anything, and they should be able to get the hell on out of here. Rally PK is up, so he might look for a jump. He's only up here. We're not even talking about. So, a good initiation though from the Legion side. They get a tower, they get a Wretched Hag, and they lose Glacius. Not a big deal. And this is a relatively even game. As both sides are playing well. Both just hanging out for some reason. fake rally here. Will just be killed as they quickly realize it's not real. Same thing here. They're like, yeah, that's fake. Congo are perhaps going to start to become a focus, as there are wards here from the Legion and the Hellborn in the bottom river. Hellborn looking to gang something in the Legion woods, but they're not obviously not going to find anything. Over Disciple off to the side here. He does have a teleport, and yeah, he's just going to use it. Definitely the right decision. The Legion woods are going to get cleaned up a little bit, and we'll see what the Hellborn choose to do with this. Likely going to try to finish off this bottom secondary tower, and it should be relatively easy for them to do so. CD has picked up the Shrunken. Obviously that's pretty huge. Solstice here going for a Soul's Bulwark, and Gauntlet going for a Shrunken of his own, I believe, with the Mighty Blade. And I really wouldn't mind seeing 4 Shrunken heads in this Legion team, considering the damage breakdown to the Hellborn. To be honest, they might benefit themselves from some Shrunkens. With Gauntlet, with Solstice, even with CD and Glacius being able to do some stuff, obviously Rally pretty much physical damage. This side here, Gauntlet looking for some initiation. Shell Surf will not spot him. I don't think so, at least. And we're looking to major engagement here in the near future. Such an even game. It's pretty impressive. Up there, will hit on a Pestilence, and he's gonna be a lot of trouble. Oh my god, they can't see him! The Gauntlet Blast does go down. Shrunken Head gets popped by Corrupted Disciple. He's looking to run in here now, and Rally's looking for the Compel as well. Will hit 3, and a Seismic Slam onto all of them as well. Everybody's pretty much dead. Shell Surf away, as Bubbles is trying to get away. Hack will just barely live with the teleport. Ophelia very possibly not going to be quite as lucky. And Bubbles likely looking for something to help his buddy out. Has the Calfield, but that's not going to matter. Ophelia is totally screwed. Solstice is trying to do something here. That's not going to happen. So huge fight there for the Legion side, and just an amazing initiation from Gauntlet. Getting the hook there and actually forcing him into the little area here, into the woods where he really couldn't get out. Couldn't see him either, but that didn't seem to matter as they eventually did get the kill, of course. And once again, that CD Shrunken Head, pretty huge, allowed him to just run forward without being scared. Gauntlet gonna be the hook in there, and man, Hag just gets exploded. Bubbles perhaps gonna be in some trouble as well. Has a Shell Surf, just tablets away though, and should be okay. Not Gauntlet, I meant Rally. But a really strong team fight there, and then a really good pick for the Legion side, and all of a sudden they're looking a lot better. So, really good early game for them, really good laning phase, and then the mid game didn't go quite as well, but or the post laning phase, I guess.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
But now that we're firmly into the mid game, they're looking really strong, and no doubt they should with their hero composition. Really, a bunch of heroes that are extremely powerful in the mid game, especially CD. Once he gets that Shrunken Head up, he's such a difficult hero to deal with because he's naturally fairly evasive and tanky, and not being able to put magic damage on him, especially for the Hellborn team, where a lot of their damage is magic, especially right now before they get the right click set from Wretched Hag and from Pestilence. It's just a problem. He's gonna steal all his damage. He's gonna do a whole bunch of damage, and he's got a lot of protection too from his team. There's stuns galore. They've got the hook. They've got the compel. They have the ice imprisonment. It's just going to be difficult to deal with this hero. Top lane, Hag will clean up the creep wave and stop the push from coming into their own secondary tower. Notable, the tower lead that Hellborn had before has disappeared. All the tier 1s are dead, and the only tier 2 that's dead is the mid 1 in favor of the Legion team. So, all of a sudden, Legion taking the tower advantage here. Abyssal Skull is picked up on Hellborn on the Ophelia. As she continues to just go aura focus. Pushbook obviously on bubbles. That's been used a couple of times off to the side here. CD just dropping the Electric Tide for reasons. But Pesty is in some trouble. There's the Compel off the Seismic Slam and Seismic Slam. Gauntlet Blast as well. Easy kill. So much burst damage.
Massacre!
Top. And they're gonna push the final tower. Will be an easy kill. All 5 of them running as a really effective gank squad at this point. And they're up about 8k gold in experience. They're looking to finish off Convoy here. Lots of wards around, and without Pesky they may not be able to initiate on this in the Hellborn team. They might know, yeah, they definitely know what's happening. The Shell Surf obviously scouts that out, but I like that we can do anything about it. Hag needs to run back. She does TP. And they're going to try to contest this, but they got to wait for Pestilence, and they may not have enough time. This is getting done pretty quickly. Shell Surf in once again. And they're watching that timer. Knowing Pesty's back, but they're going to be able to get the kill here before they can initiate. Actually, Bubbles jumps in, Kelpfield on 3, but they're just going to finish off Kongor. Grab the Disciple, puts the Shuriken head up, and he should be okay. But just look at the last kill there. Nice stun and a couple. And that's just doing way too much damage. Bat Blast doesn't hit because he had the Shrunken head up. 2 dead on the Hellborn side. They do finally pick off Gauntlet, but that's going to be 3 dead anyway. Ophelia off to the side here, going to get picked off. Empath going to get popped out as a result. And that's going to be a CiC. Wow. So Empath will be chased down here, but that's a surprising CiC.
Genocide.
They were down pretty substantially in both resources, and Legion side played this very well, but I didn't really feel like that was the end of the game. Regardless, Sjol, Comperne, whatever the hell they're called, will take the game, and well played to them. Really well played to the Hellborn team as well, as this was one of the more even games we've had in the series of the tournament in the round of 64, and that'll do it.